From the Classic 107 studios in downtown Winnipeg, 107 Live for Birchwood Jaguar, the art of performance.
Live in the Classic 107 studio, you just heard some solo bassoon performed by the outstandingly talented Kristy Tucker, who now wheels herself over and joins me for a little bit of a conversation. Kristy, I think that was a Classic 107 first, solo bassoon. It sounded great.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it really, really did. We heard a little bit of Johann Sebastian Bach. Mm-hmm. And it really did. I mean, there's such a difference there. I mean, that is a cello suite, like we were talking before it came in, and the phrasing is all there. The articulation is different. I was wondering if you could speak a little bit to that repertoire in terms of solo bassoon work. Is that something you get to do often?
I think there's always a push to do solo or to do what has not been done before.
Yeah.
But I mean, as instrumentalists, we all just really want to sing. So I don't think it really should matter what we're playing as long as, well, we always want to be singers. So if you do...
Just don't tell singers that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just say it. Oh, wait, you're a singer, so I guess
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, well, it's fine.
Yeah.
You can hear the singing quality in it, though. I mean, like I said, the phrasing is just great, and I thoroughly enjoyed that sound. I don't know if the bassoon has been called the cello of the woodwinds, but Yeah, you're making the pitch for it. You really, really are. Last you were in the studio was in with cellist Natalie Daw.
Yeah,
right?
2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a couple years back. I want to throw it back way further. When you started playing bassoon, that was high school band, right?
Yes.
And did you ever think that you would end up at Yale pursuing graduate studies on bassoon way back then?
No, not a chance. I just switched to bassoon so I wouldn't have to sit in band class and play flute, to be honest.
That's how it went down.
Yeah, my teacher said I could not sit in band class and I could just be by myself and learn how to play bassoon, and I thought it would be kind of neat to just do that instead of playing band music. So
that is really cool.
Yeah.
My band teacher said to me, "Go play in percussion because you can read a rhythm."
Oh.
That was my band experience after playing clarinet for a year. From there, can you kind of like take us through it? What have you been up to since? I mean, the U of M, we were there around the same time.
Yeah, I graduated in 2015, and then I moved to Montreal and did my master's at McGill for 2 years, and now I'm doing a Master of Musical Arts degree at Yale, also known as MMA, but not the fighting MMA.
Yeah, okay. Good to clarify.
Yeah.
UFC was just here in Winnipeg, by the way.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I'm in my first year of my Master of Musical Arts at Yale.
And how's that year been?
It's been great. My teacher is phenomenal. Studio's great. I'm liking New Haven a lot more than I thought I would. It's a very small college town, and I thought I would really have a hard time adjusting coming from Montreal. But
yeah.
It's been better the past month or so. The first bit was
what have the highlights been away from music?
Away from music?
Yeah.
Well, New Haven is actually where American pizza was invented, so I eat a lot of pizza.
Nice.
Which is nice.
Me too, but not in New Haven. That's pretty cool. I really never knew that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah,
so.
well, now
Nice.
you do. So Yale University, I mean, it is one of the big ones. You're studying with Frank Morelli, right? Who is one of the big names in the bassoon world.
Yeah.
When you look at his discography, for instance, he does some solo work, but he also does a lot of chamber playing and collaboration.
Yeah.
I was looking at your website and things like that. I mean, not particularly your website, but Downwind, the quintet you're a part of. Can you talk to me a little bit about that collaborative aspect of playing for you as a player and what you enjoy about it? Because obviously it's something you're passionate about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really enjoy playing by myself. I always enjoy feeding off of other people because I think that's what music is about. For me, playing, especially bassoon, is not really rewarding on your own. So I think it's important to get colleagues that have different perspectives as you. Even, I think, moving to the States, there's so many people that have different upbringings than I do, and everyone brings something different to the table. So that's kind of the best part for me.
Do you guys still perform? I mean, Downwind was based in
Montreal,
right?
Yeah, we got placed together in a quintet in our first semester, and then we miraculously really clicked. We have a few people in our quintet who are really good at marketing us.
Nice.
We recently played at the Graduate Symposium at the University of Toronto
Oh, that's really cool.
in the fall semester, and we did a recital that was in memoriam of Holocaust victims, and there was a work written for us, and we performed a bunch of other pieces, and there were some solo things, staging. I had to speak and be an actor, which I'm not very good at, but I tried. So
The old college try, as they say.
Yeah.
What I find really interesting, though, is just the repertoire that is available to you. I mean, as a bassoonist and what is out there, where do you live in terms of the centuries for you as a player? Is there one place you gravitate towards?
I think where I gravitate towards listening-wise and playing-wise are very different.
Oh, that's really neat.
I love romantic music, romantic orchestral music, but I really like playing Baroque and classical music. I think I'm a little bit better at it, so I'm trying to be better at other things. But I'm more like listening to music and being a part of it than just like focusing on myself. It's really weird for me to think of music as me playing. It's a collective, so.
Yeah, it's an organic thing. And one of the recurring themes to all the Women's Musical Club of Winnipeg performers who have been in here and scholarship winners that have been in, they've talked about that collaborative aspect. Just because looking at the players who are there, you guys could form a pretty cool quintet. Actually, looking at it, it'd be a pretty fun little gamut.
Yeah, what is it, piano?
There's piano, guitar, violin, soprano.
Right, yeah.
And you.
Yeah.
Soprano, I say that. Voice is
Right,
what I wanted to say. But yeah, I mean, it is really neat. Before we get to your performance, which is on the 28th, with those other 4 winners, I wanted to ask you just a couple of things. How's it feel to be back home?
It's great. I haven't seen my family in a really long time,
Yeah.
so it was really nice to get off the plane and like see my parents. It was really nice. It's colder here,
Yeah,
And
it just came.
yeah, I brought it with me. I'm sorry.
It's totally fine. We were expecting it. Do you get a little bit of downtime at least? I mean, there is a show coming up on the 28th, but do you get a little bit of a break?
Yeah, I don't have anything until then except, frantically shopping for all my Christmas presents.
Yeah, and
then,
and reed whittling.
oh yeah, the weather here is a lot different, so I have to
Make new
thank
reeds?
you for reminding me.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to, but
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fine. But yeah.
so you do make your own reeds, right?
Yeah.
And that is for the listeners out there, that is kind of common practice-ish.
Yeah, it's
really?
rare to find someone who's at even an undergrad level that doesn't make their own. Everyone has different mouths, different ways of playing, so everyone needs to make them to fit themselves.
The last thing I wanted to ask you about before what's on deck for the performance was I was reading your bio on the Downwind Quartet, and it says you're passionate about patterned laundry baskets.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what's that about? I don't know if I've seen. I feel
Are
like
you
I'm a
not
hamper. I feel like I'm a hamper guy personally.
Oh, okay.
So that was the one thing that caught my eye. It just seemed like a really fun bio, and it complemented the whole idea. What's on deck for the show on the 28th?
I'm going to be playing a sonata by Charles Koechlin and a piece by Carl Maria von Weber, Andante, and Hungarian Rondo. Both pieces are played on bassoon, but were also written for other instruments, as is the theme, I guess, with all the things I play. But,
And where do you go about sourcing that rep? I mean, transcription-wise, like you said, a lot of it was written for, or adopted by.
Right. The
bassoon.
Koechlin is written for either horn or bassoon.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was just kind of scrolling through my playlist, and it caught my ear, and I haven't played it before, so I thought, oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
It explores more of the melodic side of the bassoon. People often think of the goofy sort of staccato nature of the bassoon. And then the Weber has the staccato, goofy nature because, it's bassoon. I want to put it in there somewhere, and it's fun to play. So
Yeah, and I think it's fun for the audience too, right? To have that juxtaposition back and forth.
Right.
It should be a great show. Kristy, thanks so much for coming by the studio today. Can I ask you to play one more?
Sure.
Nice. What are we going to hear?
We're going to hear chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Nice. Well, you said.
Acapella bassoon.
There we go. A second on Classic 107, a little bit of solo bassoon. On Winnipeg's Classic 107, this is bassoonist Kirsty Tucker, the latest Women's Musical Club of Winnipeg scholarship recipient, to perform in the studio. The warm sound of the bassoon on this chilly Thursday afternoon. The latest installment of Birchwood Jaguar, 107 Live with bassoonist Kirsty Tucker.
107 Live is Classic 107's intimate concert series, brought to you by Birchwood Jaguar, the art of performance.